How this video has actually gotten so much support is actually mind-blowing, okay? Coming from him, right? Him of all people, everyone knows this guy's reputation. The people that actually support this and black people that also support this is actually very, very surprising. Because right now, black fatigue and the way black people behave is kind of like at the forefront of the discussions at the moment. And coming from him, this kind of rhetoric and this kind of talking points is very, very surprising when not just people supporting it, but black people themselves supporting it. Very, very surprising. But before we jump right into this, if you're new around to this channel, subscribe and also drop a like on the video. Let's get right into it.
It's a shame. I really do believe, look, I think black people are not irredeemable, but there just needs to be brutal honesty. It's like, look, these black people are really struggling and they're turning into these maniacs. It seems like they don't do anything right. They're obnoxious, they're rude, they're inconsiderate, aggressive, cruel. And, look, nobody hates black people for being black.
That right there, that's it. That's the trick right there. You say things, right, that's not necessarily exclusive to black people, because at the end of the day, biologically, black people aren't different to other races. It's just a skin color, right? They're not necessarily different. And these behaviors that you're pointing out, it also is very much in other races as well. But then he codes them and say, oh, no, by the way, I'm not racist, okay? Even though you did just make a racist statement, trying to make it and frame it like black people are the only ones that exhibit this kind of behavior. It's literally is what racism is. Literally saying and discriminating against certain people based on their race. But then you say, oh, I'm not racist. Yes, you are. You are openly a racist person. This isn't, your reputation is based upon being racist and being authoritarian, all this kind of like far right. That's what your reputation is built on. Okay, so encoding that of, oh, by the way, I'm not being racist, even though literally I was just being racist. That is literally, it is.
If there are people like that, I think that's exceedingly rare. And I don't consider myself one of them. The reason that people have negative attitudes about black people is because most people's interactions with black people are negative. Most people's interactions with black people is when you're stuck in traffic and you see a Nissan Altima speeding down the shoulder. And you say, what the fuck? You're not supposed to do that. If everybody did that, it would just be another lane. And, not everybody can do that. But it's like these people have no respect for decorum. They think the rules don't apply to them. They have no respect for society. Like that's their interaction is they are a waiter and they wait on a black table and the black people don't tip and they're fucking rude.
How many black people has this guy actually met? Okay. How many people? There's no way you've ever had any real interaction with black people. And then this is your kind of like conclusion on them. It totally makes no sense. You go past black people every single day without even noticing them. The ones you notice, they stick out because they're doing something odd. But the idea that the most interaction you're going to have with black people or certain race of people is going to be negative, it's just not the case. It just makes no sense at all. Like, it's either you're in a really, really, really bad environment or you're just being biased. You're just being selective about what you want to talk about.
Like that's most people's interactions. It's stuff like that. They go to the DMV and they see a black person behind the counter and they say, oh, here we go. And the person's rude. Now, it just goes to show people are not racist. It goes to show people don't like people that are rude. That people don't, it's unpleasant. People want to be treated with consideration and respect. And it is true that black people are, in this day and age, unfortunately, seem to have very low moral character. It's not even just the violence, although the violence is pretty striking. If you live your life and you know that you're going to be mugged by black people, it kind of colors your opinion or perception of black people, wouldn't you say? If 99% of the carjackings and stabbings and shootings that you see in Chicago are by black people, when you're walking down the street late at night, guess what you're looking for? Black people. And you equate that with danger. And it doesn't take a lot of them to spoil the whole bunch like that. And we just want black people to take accountability and say, look, I'm not a bad person. I'm not a bad person. It just seems that every time I encounter you people, for the most part, it's negative, and sometimes extremely negative. Like,
That's right. That's the perception already built up. When you build that perception already, it's very, very difficult to be able to actually relinquish that and just take a step back and actually analyze it without some form of like bias being involved. Okay, he's already built up this idea in his head. Of course, that's all you're going to see. Of course, that's all you're going to see. This idea again that every black or most black people are just involved in shooting, blah blah blah. No, it's that's not the case. The idea that black people commit violence, commit high carjackings, blah blah, all this stuff. These are economic decision making. Okay, these are typically made by people that are deprived areas, areas that are not governed very well, areas that are not financed economically very well. These are decisions that you make when you're poor, when you have no money, when you have no job. It isn't a race thing, it's an economic thing. Okay, anyone that actually studies the way people actually behave will literally tell you that it has nothing to do with the skin color or biology. When people don't have access to things, they look for alternatives, and sometimes some of those alternatives will be crime and it will be against the law.
like I could get a gun in my face. You know, that's a problem. And people go, well, you are just loaded up with hatred and racism. It's like, I'm really not. I'm a really friendly person. I'm a really polite, friendly
Yeah, bro, got it.
person. I give everybody a chance. But if I'm someplace and I see some black person walking in with their pants sagging and they can't articulate what their problem is or what they need, and they're rude and they're aggressive, and I'm in fear for my life, like, yeah, I have a problem with all of that.
What he's describing is hood culture, not black people's culture. That's the problem right here. He goes to the hood and he expects something corporate, okay? That can't work. You're talking about hood people. If you want to talk about hood people, sure, but hoodness has nothing to do with race. What he's describing isn't black people, it's hood.
And people go, and these black people go, well, you're racist, you're racist. It's like, no, I just hate inconsiderate behavior. If
Isn't this the same guy after Trump won the election that was literally saying, we win again, your body, our decision, right? I think that's what he said, right? It was talking about women's rights, right? Right. Your body, our decision. That is, you don't consider that being in this, like how can you possibly talk about people being inconsiderate? But that literally was your rhetoric after the general election. Your body, our decision, right? I think that was what he was saying. Crazy.
black people were super well behaved, we would be racist in the other direction. We'd say, black people, oh, yes, dude, yes. My day is about to turn around for the better. What can I help you with, sir? Please come right on in. Man, what a relief to see you here. You're a sight for sore eyes. If black people were known for being the best, then we would be racist in the other direction. Oh, finally. So yeah, that really bothers me. It just bothers me in this damn ass city, because that's all it is in Chicago, is just these black people who can never take accountability. It's always somebody else's fault.
I'm not surprised. He's built his whole career based on this. Like, it's not even surprising. I'm pretty sure it doesn't really bring reaction out of most black people. He's already done this multiple times. No one really. I'm sure he has videos like this multiple times, and then it will cover that with, "Oh, I'm not racist." Like, yes, you are. You might not want to be, but you are. But the surprising part is actually the people that are actually supporting this that are black themselves. It's like, whoa, how can you possibly support this whilst being black? He's describing you in a certain way when you know that you are not that way. How can you possibly support that? That's just that generally is like the most surprising part. But that's just my thoughts. If you like the video, drop a like, it will be massively appreciated. And also, if you're new to the channel, subscribe.